coming heavy, making everything possible. Got my swag on, pinking, thinking. It's a good day, tinny. All night, all day, chillin'. Don't try Mr. Tin. It's a Friday night, oh,
when we jump in the
the film for the Friday, it be mega. It's not even Friday night yet, and we are jamming. Charlie, you for know. We're ending the week on definitely a positive vibe. You're tuned in on Plus 899. Culture Daily 3 Music TV. The name is Serial. I'm here with Charlie Olele on my left and the wonderful Sister Lenny. Sister Bevelin on my right.
Going to be infected with this Charlie.
Yeah. So right now we have Joe.
We have
Charlie.
Yeah.
There's something else we forgot. I remember.
Yeah. What's that?
There was something else before Joe.
It's Joe.
No, it's Culture Daily. Joe.
Yeah.
That one is aside. But there was something we were doing. It is possible today. So the t-shirts there, we have like 60. We'll
and that's your fresh and cutie.
No, we can't say that on
That's your fresh and cutie.
My producer is having a stroke on air, so we'll ignore him.
But I can hear bems.
No. It's an echo of nonsense.
Wait, hold on. It's about time. On a more serious note, it's about time people took their meds.
Listen, see, me, I put the policy. I was trying to listen. Nobody knows this, right? Mm-hmm. But I spoke to the janitor that the dispenser, he should pour the pills inside. It's when he pours the pills in the dispenser. Everybody will drink the water, whether for Milo, coffee, whatever medicine taking. True. For Monday, everybody will be fine. You see a new show for Monday.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Because the level of craze in this house, in this building.
But Charlie, that's what makes the Culture Daily. That's what makes the Vimos. Charlie,
to be very
it happens with creative.
When she said, on a more serious
I thought it was a seriously serious note. I thought she was coming to tell us that the dollar is going up again. Charlie, but we had the man Kwame Eugene replay there. We had Cina, so we had Kiddy. 3 very engaging, entertaining, and stylish live acoustic performances here on our Culture Daily Friday jams. Charlie,
I'd have loved to see Famia's one. Famia and Papi Kojo.
Yeah. Famia, Charlie.
You know my favorite.
And then Dapo vibes as well. And Wendy Shay. In fact, all of them.
Charlie, the Wendy Shay, I want to see the Wendy Shay.
Yeah, all of them.
In fact, the fact that production didn't play Wendy Shay is
okay, so let's do the top 3. Top 3 so far. Top 3 since we started Friday Live.
Wendy Shay.
No other of.
No. Wendy Shay, Famia, and Ria Bossman.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Famia.
Ria Bossman. And Wendy Shay. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm a sound guy. I love vocals, right?
And I was your tech.
And I was I got a bit of alter in me. Ria Bossman sang her soul out. Famia came and did his thing. And Famia was in the spirit. And Wendy also sang. When she came, we were all like, hey, she can sing. So for me, the top 3. Kiddy, Kwame, Eugene, they did a great job. But I've been hearing them. I know them. I people that. So that one, they won't special me again for a long time.
Ria?
No, I've actually, it's been a long time since I saw Ria perform. Between the last time I saw her perform and then, so it was a pleasant refresh. And what's her name? Wendy. I've never seen her perform that kind of music before.
Right.
I mean, the pop stuff with the DJ and the bass, and you know when you're in a venue and the bass is hitting boom boom boom, you don't really appreciate. But here we had it nice and set up. For you, what's your top 3, Lenny?
Do I have
top 3?
Top 3. No order. We are not ranking.
Top
we are
3. Top 3.
If you don't answer off your mic and I will do the show. Yes,
top 3.
That's where it's gotten.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because
let's start with 1.
Top 1. Then we'll go to top 2.
In no order.
Okay, no order.
In no order, I'll choose Ria's one.
Okay.
And then Ayisi had a good one.
Yeah, Ayisi's in there for me as well.
Ayisi had a good one. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
There's one more. Come on.
Famia also had a good one.
Have you taken your pills?
Kwame Eugene had a good one.
I'm talking about pills.
Cina had a good one. Wendy Shay had a good one.
Camidoh.
We had Camidoh here. We had Camidoh's
one. No, Camidoh's one would have been good, but we all saw what happened with, everything that happened. So,
I am Miss Mavericks, baby. I don't know what's happening to me, baby. I am.
You are losing your memory.
I think all of it.
Dry.
I've mentioned a lot. I've mentioned a lot of it. So I think all of those ones. I don't have a top.
You don't have a top 3.
I don't have a top because I think everybody that has come here as much as possible has poured out poured out exactly, and especially knowing it's also live and it's being recorded. People are watching. You know, this is a standoutish thing we are doing, right? So I think everybody that has come here bringing on their A game. Papi Kojo, Jaco vibes.
Top 3?
No, he's not.
So give us our top 3 and then we move on. I want to play. I want to watch.
Top 3 for me. No, I can't choose.
I'm surprised you guys didn't mention Cina though.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, Cina okay. Yeah. Cina is definitely 1. Familiar 2, and then between IEC and Real Boss.
Between, you said we should
mention 3. Now you are between.
It's difficult to
Ricky,
bro, I told you, no, he's having a nervous breakdown. Things are hard for him at this moment, so don't worry.
You know why? Okay, I think I'll go for Rhea Bossman. You know why? Because you know her sound went off.
Yeah. For professionalism, Rhea got an extra credit.
And then when the sound came back on, it felt as though it was scripted.
You know, Joe, yeah, exactly. Joe Wackel posted that video on Twitter and it went viral because he posted and said, "Can you notice when her sound went off?" And people were like, "What?"
No, Rhea is a performer. What are you talking about?
But no, we won't do the show if we don't watch Famille.
Apostle Famille.
Because my brother was in the spirit.
Especially because truly pressure day town.
Let's forget about Lenny and Cyril and Olele. Songs of Peter, Famille, live performance. Let's get into that.
All right.
Don't worry, Peter, don't worry, yeah, don't worry, Peter, if money there, everybody there respect you. Yeah. Cause no matter the ways, we go change levels. So never worry, don't worry, Peter, don't worry, yeah. Don't worry, don't worry, me bushye musam daso. If money there, everybody there respect you. Yeah. Cause no matter the ways, we go change levels. So don't worry, Peter, don't worry, yeah. What's the any blessings from the Most High. I pray it, trust me. Yeah. I feel saying I'm a dying, I'm a serious. Say me get to moon, I'm a say. Ya kwa mi kubi ya ba me ba. Na me nyanse kandi ya makunta. Cause we are simo bimshe obibe. Timi ye to my den, I'm a tipe. Aba I met so min chunipi. Nsadeno kakrebi mimboni mi. Friday bakubi na ma club. Minya maria bakubi na ma choke. One corner, one Ghana. Say what ya see na yama. I brand my bro, me nan kamada. But me husika na me fem no aba. Shay. Biteni pano an kamanye. Biteni pano an kamen dufe. Me say eka kete kame de shebe ye. Eka kete kame de shebe ye. Tieni pano akamanye. Tieni pano akamendufie. Pese akakete. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. Last year by this time, I'm daddy. Miniska, me what on, but I'm planning. I know what I go do, my road tonight. I'm Udi Mataman, come go to Bona Baba coming. Oka, my Sam, the Biamite, Mende, Oka, now see me. I'm focused. Maybe Sammy, I'm a home boss. Chan, when I feel. I'll be worse and pain. They say my songs be a real one. Pursuing till we are just a man. I know go round from me. Today, I'm saying it be. Nana, me, that I said. Mama, that focus on the ass. Between you, Pano, come and between you, Pano, come and do fear. Messay, I can get come in the shabby. Messay, I can get come in the shabby. Between you, Pano, come and Between you, Pano, come and do fear. Messay, I can get. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. All by your mercies and your grace, I am grateful. You turned my life around. Now I'm a shining star. Blessings from the Most High. You know, this is Peter. Peter, so they can say Fraku. Try.
Before the morning comes and the sun comes down, I've been missing you. Before the morning comes and the sun comes down, I've been missing you. Yeah. Brana de asao. Yeah. Sure you know this year's Valentine, but the minute one deal, then some saying quarantine. This should show me it's your next time up with me. I figure my mama.
Allow
just have fun, just have fun. When the preacher man preached, he said we shouldn't do it. So I'm waiting to get me a ring on it. Hey, when I'm a worry, yes, yeah, my baby. When I'm a worry, so oh my worry. Hey. And when we go to heaven,
in heaven, there is no boyfriend. We were all in the spirit. We were all just gyrating. We were all just vibing on Culture Daily. We're still here. We caught up with Famia's performance and Wendy Shay's performance as well. Charlie, one thing I can say is the consistency of the brilliance of these performances. The consistency of the brilliance of the performances on Culture Daily needs to be spoken about, because every artist comes here and it's level after level. The elevation is constant. Speaking of elevation, Jay Foley just tweeted at us. He said that he's made $1 million. Jay, tweet more details, because you need to send us mail. If you've made $1 million there, we need mail. Lenny wants mail. Olele wants mail. But guys,
I want Momo.
We started a conversation earlier on about songs that had popped and held their own and made the numbers and hopefully made the money this year. We need to get into that. I want us to explore those songs. I mean, we've had the fortunate collaboration with Boomplay to get some details.
Yeah.
And I want us, who has that open? Olele.
Yeah.
You have that.
Yeah, we are go.
I'm sure next week we'll bring in some experts.
Yeah.
Monday we'll break it down, actually go in depth, find out who did what, and because it's not just luck.
And then the earnings as well.
Exactly, popping and having hundreds of millions of streams is not just luck. It's about
and that's what excites me about when these artists blow, because you know that if they've spread across their music on different DSPs, then that means they are going to be getting some good earnings. And when these songs do well as well, you know that the money is going to be coming in, but how much, right? It excites me because then you know that you're going to move from one level of life to the other. You're going to be comfortable to an extent. So I'm excited that we'll be able to do this breakdown and find out who got what, who earned what.
Yep. And like you said, Boomplay recap, or should I say, looking at the songs that have done well. It's like Spotify telling us who's listening to what and what they're listening to. But it's very interesting when I saw that Camidoh's listenership, the top 5 countries, Ghana wasn't included.
Ghana wasn't included.
At all.
Top 5. Ghana wasn't included in Camidoh's listenership. Top 5, the whole of...
Yeah, but I don't think, we say that, and it's because we have a sense of pride and nationalism around our creators. We think because he's Ghanaian, we should be the biggest listeners. But like I keep saying, we make music these days for the world, right? And if you look at the bigger scope of things, we are just a drop in the world when it comes to music listenership. So there might be people out there who don't have as much diverse catalogs to listen to as we do. We are not just listening to Camidoh. We have everybody else who's a dope Ghanaian musician to listen to. But somewhere else, Camidoh might be one of very few options.
Or even the only Ghanaian they know.
Exactly.
How the song
exactly. So you not necessarily saying that somebody has made it much better outside, it means it's a bad thing. No. Once they are succeeding and they're able to
I think the conversation surrounding Camidoh, for example, is that if you look at the top 5 countries, 1 is United Kingdom, 2 United States, 3 Netherlands, 4 France, and the 5th one, I guess?
Nigeria.
Now, you see, the first 2 places you mentioned, Seth, Ghana for Nigeria for Mugu.
Yeah, but that's
people
fair.
Who did then.
I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to the 5th part being Nigeria, Camidoh has already suffered this whole nationality or identity crisis where people mistake him to be Nigerian. I just saw a tweet last night where he's supposed to be playing a show in one of these Eastern African countries, and
they announced him as a
Nigerian.
Somebody didn't throw something at them.
That is unfortunate, and then that just goes to show it's not about.
We don't have enough identity branding.
It's not even that. That goes to show that the person who even announced him as that didn't do their homework.
No, it's not just about the homework. It's also not about the MC or the announcer. Yeah. It's about knowing, like, Stormzy is Ghanaian, this was right? In Kampala, but nobody refers to Stormzy as a Ghanaian artist because his brand is so entrenched in the UK culture and the UK
brand is entrenched in Ghana.
No, you see, the similarity between Nigerian and Ghanaian culture is so close that you have to do extra work. Right. It's not as easy as the difference between Ghana and the UK.
Is it because he's sounding like them? Is it because
now the sound is morphed into some mixed bag, right? There's Nigerian elements, there's Ghanaian elements. So Afro beats now, it's hard to hear a sound and just say, based on the sound, this must be this. And so the artist has to do the extra work of making sure that your identity is very clear.
Exactly. Like, I think the onus lies on us or the musician to put themselves out as that and then draw that fine line and say, okay, even though I'm sounding like I'm from this country, I'm actually not that. I am Ghanaian, right? We need that distinction so that we know what it is. Because DJ Tariko was here some weeks ago, and then he mentioned that they don't know who is who in Mozambique. They can't tell if, a musician is Ghanaian or a musician is Nigerian, right? He used Gyakie even as an example, that they didn't know when her song blew up, they thought she was Nigerian.
You just stated what the problem is.
Yeah, she thought she was.
The problem these days is the songs blow up faster than most of the artists are able to establish their brand names.
Yeah.
Right? Gone are the days where somebody had to do 3-4 years of walking around with CDs and sticking posters on walls and doing radio tours to blow up.
Yeah.
Now you can do your song in your studio and social media, boom,
and it goes.
And everybody loves the song. They don't even know who.
No, he did mention that they know in Mozambique that Shatta Wale is a Ghanaian artist. He mentioned
that's because Shatta Wale engages, probably. Shatta Wale is the one.
And over the top of his head, Shatta Wale was the only Ghanaian musician that he could name, right? Wow. Everybody else, he said, they thought...
Do you want to know why?
They don't know that distinction.
Arguably, right? And this is something Jay Foley should be saying, but today I'll say it for him.
Say it.
Shatta Wale is probably the most engaged music brand outside of music. Shatta is in the news all the time for a ton of stuff that don't necessarily have to do with music releases, right? Whether you call it good press, bad press, you will know the name Shatta Wale. Yeah. There's a conversation, there's an argument, there's something he did that's trending, there's something he said. He's doing his face mask and he's ranting. He's outside of music releases. Shatta has built a brand that is Shatta Wale. We no longer complain about Charlie Shatta release something. Yeah. We just love Shatta for Shatta. And that's why no matter where you are on the continent, you know who he is and where he's from. Now compare that to artists who have used marketing tools, social media, digital tools to amplify their songs way more than they are amplifying their brands. So now you have a song that's hitting across Africa. Everybody can love it, sing it. Some can't even pick out the artist in a lineup. But they can sing the song. Like myself, so the song we opened the show with Lasmid, Friday night. I was jamming that song before I saw Lasmid's picture for the first time.
So
I'm not ashamed to say it. I heard the song on radio, I Shazammed it, I started playing it. When I came here, I was making noise with that song. I mean, who knew that? And then I had to go and check. I was like, so this is Lasmid, this is the video.
So more like putting their face to their work.
Yes, exactly.
So as a brand, there's two things you need to do. You need to establish the parent brand, which is now the creator, which is you, and then you establish the product.
So that your product doesn't become bigger than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
to be what's it called? The guy you spoke to, Made in Ghana, he also said that people assume he's Nigerian.
The content is running at the speed of light.
You need to
at the speed of data, at the speed of 5G.
That balance.
So if you are not keeping up with your content, it go over you.
I just hope we can also find the benefits in some of these identity crises and draw some kind of attention to us here, because at the end of the day, it's the impact you're looking for. Despite looking for revenue as well, we're looking to make impact with our music. This particular tweet was coming from a TV station in Kampala. And you would think that
they'd do some more due diligence.
Exactly. But to head on say,
they thought they were sure. Remember, there was who was confused with Stormzy, the footballer. Was it Rashford? Lukaku, sorry. Yes. That's British press. Was it the Sun or something? It was a big press.
They kept pushing
and they confused Lukaku with Stormzy. They put Stormzy's picture there on the front page. And then they wrote Lukaku.
But so after the Sunday, they're known to be notorious. So sometimes when they do that thing,
sometimes it was a low blow. But I mean, talking about ending the year, Christmas, music listening patterns and all that. Last year, we ended on a similar high note with lots of good music. And we took that good music into the beginning of this year, 2022. So Boomplay has a wrap-up for us for how we went into. So for Ghana in the year 2022, these are some of the fascinating facts from Boomplay's recap. Ghana's New Year's Day song, Ghana's New Year's Day favorite song, Thy Grace, Part 2 by Kofi Kinaata.
I mean, I think it's a fantastic start because I remember the lyrics of the song was perhaps in everybody's lips. You know, it was on everybody's lips at the time.
And it's a new year.
It's a new year.
New year, new me, spirituality, blah, blah, blah.
Automatically,
so it aligned. Everybody was clean for that first 1 weekend.
Exactly.
We were all in the spirit for that 1 week.
Exactly. I think I was hoping that Familia's Praise would have taken that spot, but I think it's a fair game between
it's fair game. I'm sure it was close. We don't have the background. I'm sure Monday maybe we'll have the back end start.
The proper breakdown.
But I'm sure it might have been close. And then so we moved on from the 60 days of January last year to the month of love, February, where we had Valentine's Day favorite song, Obiaa by Akwaboah featuring
Cina Soul.
Love was sweet, eh?
Undisputed.
People really loved this year.
That song, Charlie, is timeless.
A lot of rotation on air.
It's timeless.
Lot of rotation on air.
But even off air means a lot of people streamed it, played it, their Valentine's Day.
That was what they used to chop their Valentine's.
Very good. I didn't want to say it, but thank you for saying it.
We didn't have Valentine.
Did I chop Valentine
Went
last
to
year?
Bed.
This year?
I've not chopped Valentine in a long time.
Me, I don't know what's Valentine. What's that?
Someone doesn't even know what's
Valentine.
What is Valentine?
Is it a biscuit?
Oh, I have something I say. Like everybody that I've dated in my life, I say like, if you are not being loved the rest of the days of the year, one special day.
I mean, I don't know.
It's a bit pretentious for me. I mean, and people don't even realize that Saint Valentine died. But we'll get into that later. The true story of Saint Valentine, it is a tragedy. It's not a love story. So I don't know where people got the idea of all this chocolate and roses.
An absolute Titanic. But of course, Obiaa, I look at the connection between Akwaboah and Cina Soul and how Cina Soul hit the account notes so well for someone who
she said she couldn't, she had a tough time, but she spoke about it.
You know, and creating magic. The only thing I'm not too sure about the song were the visuals. You know, I was like, alien stuff.
Maybe they tried to go a bit abstract. Sometimes you miss it with abstract. Remember we had that first comment about Black Sherif's video as well. The Nicole Say one. Good video, all accounts, but like a lot of people lost the translation due to the abstract nature. I mean,
I would want to know and hear about the exploits of that particular video, because when you talk about Obiaa, I don't think anybody will immediately remember the video. In terms of how well the song did, I think people remember it because of the love innuendos or the romantic innuendos involved in the
love
record.
Songs. There, it's not difficult to push you.
And I'd love to hear another Akwaboah Cina Soul joint.
Who knows? She said there's a lot in the pipeline, and she couldn't tell us most of it. So who knows? Maybe next Val's Day they have another banger coming up for us.
So in that category, we have Sarkodie Efia. Now we have Akwaboah
Cina Soul. And maybe Camidoh Cina Soul as well.
Yeah. That duet they did, I go back to my Facebook page and
just go check it out.
And we're just listening. I'm a fan of acapella. Vocals, they kill me.
Those two.
Vocals, they kill me, Charlie. But moving on, Ghana's early morning favorite song, Anopa 222, Local Praise by MOG Music. Wow. Local Praise. No, I don't remember. I'm not familiar with.
Local Praise is like a medley.
I don't remember.
It's like a medley.
It's a medley.
Yeah, so mashup of popular praise songs. So Mettle do that.
So it's like a mix kind of thing.
Yeah, just
okay. Well, that.
But of course, Dinah Hamilton does that as well.
Yeah. But of course, in the morning when people want to kickstart their day, they need some
some motivation, some affirmations and all that.
So
okay, then the late night favorite song, Famisier by Joe Mettle.
Hide Me.
Hide Me.
Yeah, Hide Me.
Charlie, so we start our days with the gospel mindset.
Start and end the day.
We chop love in the middle.
Charlie.
And then we close
the day.
Because if you pray and thank God, say you made it through the day.
Yeah.
You understand? And you want him to also preserve your life for the coming days. Because it gets tough. It gets tougher.
They say the biggest blessing is waking up. So definitely, Famisier will definitely be the late night song 2022. But Most streamed songs. Now here we are going into the big shots. The most streamed songs 2022 from Boomplay as at now. Number 1. Phone don't stop ringing in. All my friends are ringing.
My nigga, my boy
Lasmid up there.
That's a shock. That's a shocker for me. I'm not gonna lie.
That song be contagious pass.
Yeah, but
it's more contagious than Gangnam Style. Do you remember that frog? Ding 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 ding. You don't remember that frog? There was a frog. There was a green frog with the goggles. That came. Oh, Charlie, I'm old though.
No, I don't remember.
Charlie. That song, that's that frog.
Your ID card is showing.
My ID card is showing. I go put them down. My Ghana card is showing. I go put them down. No, so we have Lasmid at number 1. We have Kwaku the Traveler by Kwaku himself, by Black Sherif. Again, on Monday, they'll probably tell us that the difference is just 100 streams.
Yeah.
So this ranking is not to say anybody's better than anybody. It's just statistics.
This is just on Boomplay.
Exactly. This is just on Boomplay. For all you know, Spotify is totally different. Apple Play, Apple Music is totally different. Down Flat also comes on number 3. So we have Lasmid, Black Sherif, and Kelvynboy in the number 3 Boomplay most streamed of this year. What does that tell us?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair that.
And the Down Flat isn't what's it called? Isn't for me. Isn't something I thought would be the most played.
No, I thought that would be in there, but for me, I was thinking it would be Kwaku the Traveler, and then Sugarcane, the remix, and then Down Flat. Those would have been my top 3 if you had,
But do you hear Lasmid a lot on radio or out and about? Or am I the only one who plays it all the time?
Lasmid is more out and about, too. I think it's a town song. You hear it more in town, and especially on Fridays. People have just jumped on that to make it
you know what I realized about the Lasmid song?
What?
It's fun to sing along to.
Yeah. But I also think it
sticks with
people
you.
like singing along to it because it's fun. It's like a game we all play. We have to make sure everybody's on point. It's fun to sing along to Lasmid.
And I feel like it's a great resource for breath control. Technique.
When you go for your COVID test, they'll play the beats for you.
Yeah, let him do it. Start from the top.
I'll back you.
Okay, start.
I'll do backing. I should
go.
start.
Yeah.
You watch it.
Okay. Charger.
Phone don't stop.
Ring. All my friends are banking. Money calling my phone like I'm banking. No be joke, I'm heavy, making everything possibly. Got my swag on. Thinking. It's a good day. All night.
Listen,
it's a Friday night.
That's just a one verse.
See, the hooray say they kill me. It's not hooray. Hooray. That one, Charlie, and of course my slogan, fresh and wild, guilty. Charlie, listen, the lyrics on that, it's totally a vibe, and it's a way. Friday night, you don't really want to make sense.
It's vibes.
You want to vibe and celebrate, and you got it with that.
Last video to the song for me, I think could have been better. Because you're talking about Friday night.
There was a lot of daytime.
Yeah, I was thinking about, Accra nightlife, but it was a lot of daytime. I'm like, bro, your night different from our night. I caught that.
The first time I watched the video, I was like, I
actually thought it was going to end in
Friday night, maybe they're talking about going into the night.
Yeah, I thought
maybe the director thought about going into the night. They didn't want to break the video from night.
Or make it so typical.
Exactly.
You know how we are all expecting it to be in the night.
I thought it was a good opportunity for the nightlife brands to tap into. Because when you think about Friday night, you think about Osu, you think about Oxford Street, you think about these places, So I thought it was a great opportunity for the artist to say, you know what, I have this.
Those of us who stay at home on Friday night, we can't mention anywhere. They are mentioning places.
Because
yesterday
we talked about John Legend, having this
strategic approach to his Christmas.
So I'm just looking at perhaps
he could have partnered a lot of places and got it done. You see, that's the missing link in a lot of music management structures. There's no business development person or business strategist. The business strategist is not even supposed to be part of the team.
No,
it's supposed to be external.
External consultancy.
Looking at you guys and see that Marco left to come to the right, come to this. But I mean, we've discussed this many times. I'm sure they've listened, and next year we'll see a lot of changes in music brands in Ghana. Now, moving on to most streamed albums this year. When did Sarkodie release No Pressure?
No Pressure
was last year.
Okay, when did Kwesi release Son of Jacob?
This year.
This year. Okay, interesting stats here. So the Villain I Never Was is the most streamed because Black Sherif came out boxing, kicking, Charlie Ninja mode. So that one, if it wasn't number one, I'd be surprised.
Yeah. I will be surprised. I'll be shocked.
Kwaku the Traveler has traveled to number one with the Villain I Never Was, most streamed album on Boomplay, number one. And then No Pressure from Sack, last year's album, still number two. Yeah. See, good music. No expiry date. A lot of albums have come between No Pressure and now, and it's still number two.
Sack Nation, crazy.
They're loyal.
No Pressure is actually a good album.
It's a very good album.
I think the last time I said it here that I am disappointed by the fact that certain songs on that album weren't pushed or weren't plugged as much in other markets.
I beg to differ.
No Pressure is honestly No Pressure.
Maybe they didn't blow like the way you expected. But if it's 2022 and the album is a 21 album and it's number 2 most listened to, then it's a success.
As for Ghana, you know,
Did you see what I did there? It's a success. Okay, let's be going.
As for Ghana, I know Sack has got it locked. He's a landlord for a reason. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm talking about beyond that because on Monday we'll have stats from Kenya, Zambia, and all those places, and that will give us a unique perspective. You get me? So that's just by the way.
Then of course my bro Kwesi came in third with Son of Jacob.
For this album, I find it very interesting that it's in the most streamed albums for 2022 because some people were bashing Kwesi for not giving hardcore, you know, and he had to be watered down.
You see, sometimes posterity is your judge. Yeah. Because
and it's not about playing to the people.
Because here we are, 2022 ending December, and the song is top 3. Yeah, the album is top 3.
You know, Sarkodie has mentioned this. Famia has mentioned this. Wendy, Shay has mentioned this. They're not making.
Do you know what's happening
for fans anymore? They are doing what they want to do.
All our big stars are now becoming Alte. Manifest said it yesterday. When the person is big there, we never refer to it as hotel. But if Sarkodie is telling you that I want to do music that I'm happy about, that is hotel language. If Famia is telling you that I don't want to be plugged into your machine to blow overnight, I want to do for my people at the kiosk and at the spot. He's talking hotel. You understand? And I love that for us because that means that we're going to have a lot of organic, pure music. Not music that says everybody's doing this, so let me copy and paste.
And eventually they are going to have their songs etched in the sands of time. Because it will be timeless. It's not about, a trend. It's not about this genre is popping anymore. It's about doing music from your soul, from the deepest parts of your innermost being. So I like that.
Lenny is giving us surgery this morning. She's cut into the deepest part of my inner being. 1 more inch and she'll touch my soul. Charlie, now we enter the boxing ring. Blow for blow. Top male artist, top female artist. Boom, boom, boom.
Let's go.
Number 1, who got it?
Black Sherif.
Kwaku frame on the Asema.
On the Asema baby.
Asema baby. Charlie, Black Sherif there at the top of the mountain, number 1.
Number 3.
And the number 3 is my guy. Number 2, there we'll talk about it. I need time to talk about number 2. Number 3. Lasmid. See, I told you. We don't talk about the rest of Lasmid's song like the way we talk about.
I would want to understand
Friday, but who was telling me? Somebody was telling me that the rest of his songs are also dope.
Yes, I was telling you.
You were the one, right?
Atelier and the rest.
It's understandable because when he came out with Friday Night, so many people did not know him. So many people. Like, if you know Lasmid, you know Lasmid. If you know his songs, you know his songs.
Serial did not know him.
Yes, he's had songs with like Kwame Eugene and the like, right? So if you know him, you know him. But up until Friday Night, people didn't know him like that, right? And so I understand why he's on the list because now after Friday Night, you'd want to go and listen to all of his other songs.
I mean, Kwame said the same thing yesterday, right? He said, he's had songs since 2015. And that's what he played for Ground Up and then... exactly. So it takes time for that one song to be cooked. But Charlie, at our number 2 top male artists for the year.
But before we check that out, based on what Lenny is saying, I would be interested to know the metrics that, are used to arrive at this.
Monday, I'll break it down for you, Monday. Boomplay will be bringing it. They'll be sending the Excel sheet.
I don't know if it's the total listenership for the artist, like she said, other songs. I think that
as an artist on the profile, there's followership,
right?
There's listenership, and then I think they also count shares to a point or something.
Right.
Either shares or downloads, something else.
And I can't confirm. That is why number 2 is there.
Yeah, and that's why number 2 is there. The number 2 top male 2022 artist on Boomplay is none other than the man himself, Charles Brad Charles, Shatta. Blah Charles, Shatta Wale is number 2. So we have Black Sherif at number 1, Shatta Wale at number 2, and then Lasmid at number 3.
Jay missed this moment.
Jay missed the moment. Jay Foley, I've taken your moment. I've stolen the moment for the Shatta moment. I broke the news. How can a Beam native be announcing this thing? But Charlie, for the love of the game.
Shatta Wale
is there.
This year he released On God. Was it this year, Ricky?
Yeah, it was this year. This year. We were here, we were at Culture Daily.
Yeah, On God. And what I find interesting about On God is when he released On God, he didn't put it on any of the streaming platforms except for YouTube. For some time, I don't know what the strategy was. Maybe he wanted to
up the numbers.
Accumulate the views. But the views on YouTube for On God are good though.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. So it was later.
Let me just confirm.
It was later I saw On God on streaming platforms. I mean, one day he will tell us why he did that. But I find it very, very, very interesting that looking at the other things that we mentioned, most streamed songs, most streamed albums, Shatta is not in there. But when it comes to the top male artists, he's there. It goes to say that, he has quite a number of records that are still evergreen.
It has 5.3 million views on YouTube.
For On God,
when was it posted?
8 months ago.
8 months ago.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But
it's good.
Yeah. But Shatta is big. Have you seen his other views?
Yeah. He has a lot of views.
Yeah. Look, I keep saying it every day. Shatta brand, Shatta Wale.
It's solid.
Any Shatta song.
Yeah.
That one, Any Shatta himself is bigger than any Shatta song.
No, so it's because he's also added the lifestyle to the whole.
He's always the guy's an entertainer, right?
Yeah, so he understands the show and the biz of showbiz.
The man goes on Facebook Live and the views there. Some of we are songs safe not get those views.
It is believed that if you want to have a lot of viewership on your live stream, try and get a Shatta Wale interview because his appearance will boost. So right now, Shatta Wale he's moved away from being a personality in music to being a personality in digital marketing. So if
it's a catalyst, the Shatta effect.
You need to pay for that. But like we were saying, the Shatta Wale effect on our music industry is something that we need to pay attention to. I don't think there's going to be another Shatta Wale. I don't think we can.
Did we have a Shatta Wale before Shatta Wale?
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
No, let's think about it. What did we?
Who can we think of in the last 10 years? Who can we think of?
In the last 10 years, wasn't Kwesi quite controversial? Pulling up with have you forgotten Kwau's appearances at award shows? How he used to storm the black.
But that wasn't controversial.
Controversy is right. Controversy is controversy. That was controversial.
Shatta Wale
I used to go on air and freeze mine. Every Kwesi interview used to be riddled with controversy because he was unhinged and unpredictable. Not as much. That's what I'm saying, that in context, yes, you might say Shatta, but I'm saying that we had people, even before Shatta came on the scene, who were equally, quote-unquote, troublesome. You understand?
Okay, fine. So let's say before Kwesi. Who has been?
That one, I was in class 6, I have no idea.
In the last 10 years, I can't think of
it's just been Shatta Wale.
He does it so well. He does it so well.
Shatta's story, right, needs to be captured, to be very honest. Despite all the bad press and what everybody thinks he is, blah, 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 blah. Coming back from Bandana,
and now
to Shatta and becoming Shatta Wale the way it is now. That story definitely needs to be captured. But moving on,
I once planned a documentary that I wanted to do for Shatta Wale. So if he's listening,
and now that you are breaking up with Stip, how are you going to do this? Like Stip will capture it for you, sharp. And
I know, right?
Stip has left Lenny, guys. Those of you know the love is over.
Some years ago, because I was just fascinated with his gut and grit, having to be that person and then go down and under and then come back on top and stay on top consistently
in the chokehold. He's holding the game's neck. He's held it
for
like
as long as he has. I was just really fascinated. So I just wanted to do like the Shatta story, but because he shattered ceilings. So
Charlie.
We want that track. We want
that. I was looking at it in that way, and it wasn't going to be like shattered as in how you spell shattered. It was going to be a shatter and then
apostrophe
a D.
D.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never got to doing it. I've put it out there. If anybody does anything, along these lines, I'm coming for you.
We shall suit them.
I'm coming for you.
Because you put it out there.
Yes, I'm coming for you.
Last category on the Boom playlist. Top booming artist 2022.
Oh, no, we skipped the female artist too.
Hey.
Yeah, the female artist.
They would have come for me.
My first lady of Ghana music, the queen of Ghana music.
The queen of Ghana music
is indeed number one.
She said it. When she sat there, she said she's the queen, and
she's
they brought the ranking, and
she is the queen.
I say, why you justified, Kokra?
Yeah. You know what I've noticed about Ghanaians, right? You think they don't like you because of how they go hard at you on socials and everything, but in the end, you realize that when you put out content, they are watching. When you put out music, they are listening. It has happened so many times. I'll even use Ebony as an example. See how people lashed at her. You think they didn't love it.
She has some of the biggest songs.
And so she passed exactly. And then all her songs kept hitting numbers. I remember even back then she did one of her songs, the Mama Share or something, it hit 1 million views in a week.
Yeah.
I remember that so well. Yeah, I remember that was in 2017.
Yeah, that time viewership wasn't like today.
You understand. And you think Ghanaians didn't like it. We've seen that also with Shatawale.
Yeah.
We've seen that with Wendy Shay. Yeah. So I think that's what it is.
I think what you're talking about is liking the product and not the person. And I think it's okay. I think sometimes we try to struggle and fight. Oh, you don't like the person. No, I may not like you, but I like the product. You know, and it's okay. And
vice versa.
Yeah, some people may like the person and may not really like the product. So it's how you position yourself and how you take advantage of these two factors. And Charlie, you keep it moving. Wendy Shay had a conversation. I often say interview, but she had a conversation with us. And if you look at the engagement in the comments, people kept saying, "Oh wow, we didn't know Wendy Shay was like this. We didn't know Wendy Shay was like this," because you haven't tapped into that area.
Sometimes it's about who she's interacting
with. You get it. So I mean, it is what it is.
Anyway, so she's number one there, top female artist 2022 on Boomplay. The queen of GH music herself, should I say, retains or claims herself throne as number one.
There was a time in this country where one lady said she's coming for her throne. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
And the way she spelled the throne, right? It wasn't THRONE, it was THROWN.
I've forgotten this lady's name. They said she sounds like Ebony.
She was with xylophone. Music. What's the
name has just fizzled out of my head.
She said she's coming for her throne.
Where did they throw it?
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, moving on. I don't remember. You let me be doing my list. Number 2.
I've forgotten her.
Is the young budding talent, the princess. Should I want the princess? The princess of Ghanaian music now. Her show is today?
Yeah, it's today. And today's her birthday.
And today is her birthday. And she's number 2. Top female artist, Gyakie.
I was saying to Ilele when you were doing your sports, I was saying to
Olele. Yes, you're saying to
Olele.
That's not what you said. The first one you slang this voice.
The first one you said.
I was explaining to Olele.
No. The O was silent.
We are each watching from the back here. Don't y'all talk me.
What's going on?
I was saying to Olele.
Say to Olele.
What's going on?
You tell us what you say to Olele.
I was saying to him how I think Gyakie has had a really, really good year.
She has.
A really good year. And
from
it's
global citizen onward.
And she's been like that woman that has done it, especially in this space this year, right? And I think it's good for her, and I love that for her, because she's had, the hits, she's had back-to-back really good songs, right? Something Came is doing the numbers, she's had her global citizen. Yeah. It's just been amazing for her, and whatever the team.
Tisha.
What's who?
Tisha.
Right. That's it.
Shout out to Ike for sending this to me.
That's
Tisha.
it. Thank you so much for the reminder. The name just out of my head.
She was coming for the throne.
Yes.
Someone is saying something very interesting here. This is from Jado Poco. He says, when Shay released an album exclusively to Boomplay or on Boomplay this year, that might have helped her. Just saying.
The Enigma. No, Enigma is
on
everywhere.
Apple Music.
Wow.
No,
or which one is he referring to?
Maybe she premiered it on Boomplay first before it got on other stores or something.
I listened on Apple.
I don't think it's Enigma. I think it's another album.
This year, she had the EP Enigma. That's what we... Anyway.
Well,
noted. We'll check it out. Monday, we'll still be having the conversation with more statistics. So we'll definitely look into that as well. Thank you for drawing our attention. Yeah. And then, of course...
So let me just quickly say something about Gyakie. Like Lenny and I, like she said, we were talking about...
You also want to slang the Lenny?
Hey.
Wahala. Anyways, so in our discussion, we were talking about how she's had to bounce. Ricky, do you know we are on air? Ricky,
listen to the viewers. I know you are watching TV and you are listening on radio, and it's magical, right? And we look like we are so in charge and we are superheroes. But today I'll tell you, TV is make believe. They call it make believe. Have you seen this? There's madness in my ear.
Steve, Ricky, and Anita should be here.
One day we are going to put the production guys on the spot.
I've mentioned this before that there should be a time where we switch things out, right? We have the people in production here. I've said this before, and you guys are also saying that I think that should be the case.
You know something? We don't have to make our plan on air. We'll plan our off air, and then we'll deal with them.
Yeah,
we'll deal with them.
We don't come.
But yeah, so Gyakie, Gyakie after Forever and Forever remix, right? The notion was that okay, you have a hit song, but we know the struggle that comes with having another hit song after
keeping up. When you set the bar
song, especially for a lady in this industry, because there's this serious strong stare.
Yeah. But I can tell you how she did it.
Tell us.
She did the remix of the first hit, and that remix,
entered that market.
Yeah, got a new market for her, and that new market was still intrigued to find out what she had to offer.
Right.
So now it's like she had a backup audience. She came with the main audience.
Yeah.
She did a remix that got her a backup audience. So when she dropped the second song, that backup audience helped elevate it.
Yeah.
And then you see so she definitely, I'm sure somebody was involved. This is the strategy I was talking about.
Yeah, but
they do this a lot.
Shout out to the team for plugging her.
You remember back in the 90s, every big song had a remix. It was like mandatory.
Back in the 90s, I wasn't born, please. I'm a 2000 baby.
So if I mention Mace, if I mention P Diddy, if I mention Faith Evans,
these were stories that were told
by the fireside. But think about it. Back in the day, even early 2000s, right? 50 Cent, G Unit, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, whatever. It's like it was mandatory to do a remix. Why?
Yeah,
because they wanted to, make it rain. Yeah. Make it rain had like 16 remix. Lean Back had like 45 remix. Why?
1 billion.
1 billion. Lean Back and now
we tire.
We're on the floor.
Charlie,
can't lean back.
If you over Lean Back now,
the song was I'm on the floor. You know? Yeah. Why? Because you needed to get into new markets.
Right.
So you have a song that's basically black culture, it hits.
Yeah.
But you're wondering, can this artist do another song for the same market? No. So let's do a remix with a Hispanic star, get into the Hispanic audience,
we were talking about yesterday, Lenny, Rema and Selena Gomez.
Exactly. Yes. That's the most streamed song in Nigeria. Why? Because there's a whole new market.
And I remember, when that news broke out, like, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary. Now, who even listens to Selena Gomez in Africa? People are saying all sorts of things.
I think Fireboy has done the same with Camila Cabello.
Yes.
And that's going to be good. Because you may think that you know the name. Exactly. That's what I was come to say, that you may think that you know the names of these people, right? But once they do the songs with people that you are very familiar with, you get
mentioned Ahmed Sultan. Ahmed Sultan is the biggest Afrobean pop star in Africa.
Right.
Afrobean being Afro-Arabian.
Right.
So he sings in Afro-Arabian, but it's Afro-pop. And there's nobody bigger than Ahmed Sultan. So you might be surprised to hear that Dark Suburb is selling out a stadium somewhere in an Afro-Arabian.
But that's because of the collaboration.
Exactly, you know.
But I know also the issue is that every song require a remix. I feel
it depends on how you're moving.
I think depending on the kind of strategy, because when Kelvynboy came here, we asked him about the Down Flat remix. Was it really necessary? And he said
it's necessary.
It wasn't really
it's necessary when you have
the hit.
With this remix matter, sometimes the remix, it's not every time that the remixes get to you immediately. Sometimes you have to listen to it over and over and over again because it has to grow on you, because you already love the original if you do. So it will take some time, but for some songs remixes are necessary. For some songs as well, you just have to do the song right on.
Charlie,
like,
today you're rapping.
Let's use
some songs. Oh, Charlie.
Let's use Kiddy's Touch It as an example. He has that collaboration coming on, the remix. Hindu remix. I think even though Touch It was big in India, it will be good for the lady as well. Yes, I forget her name, but yes, I mean, we'll also get to know her on that level. So it depends.
Songs that are already collaborations don't need remixes, because that element of the added talent is already there. So if you look at Sarkodie's catalogs, right, he probably has the least remixes because there's no need. Because he's always featuring some other big talent. But these songs that have the necessitated need remixes are songs where it's just one person. Gyakie, it was Gyakie. Touch It, it was Kiddy.
What is
but we do have songs.
Because of time, let me just ask you guys this question.
We still have to mention number 3.
What's the biggest Ghanaian remix song?
This is a remix from KK.
I lie.
Alongside Batman. Alongside Tiny.
I think the one with Tony Tetila and TikTok.
It's Friday.
Which one is that? Angelina Kometo.
Hey, sorry, Jacket. Jacket is the for me.
Really?
You can put it on social media and ask. Jacket is the biggest
I think
Ghanaian remix
social
song.
Media, you're listening already. You know the one I chose already.
Yeah.
And you're saying Jacket. Tell us. Charlie, we're running out of time. Let me wrap up my list. So we did Diana Hamilton already, right? So we've heard all the gospel songs. We spoke about inspiration, blah, blah, blah. Diana Hamilton, I'm not going to off Ulile's mic. Diana Hamilton is at number 3. So we have Wendy, Shay, the Queen, the Princess, Diana Hamilton, Gyakie, and then Diana Hamilton. What do we call her? Mommy? Or do we leave it at that? Ma is at number 3. Then the top booming artists that have had phenomenal growth. Number 1, Lasmid. See, he had the catalog. He was already there, but Friday brought that growth. Camidoh had the catalog, had the hit, and then he brought that as well. And then DJay being number 3. DJay being number 3 for phenomenal growth. Now, we've had quite an exciting conversation around. We are not going anywhere, but I'm the one controlling. Below. So, Charlie, let me pay my bills. Let me pay my bills. You see, today they were dissing deep voice people. Let me flex them small. Let me give them small.
Give it to them.
Discover a world of innovation.
It's what Lenny likes.
A world of luxury and a world many of us are dreaming of owning. Discover the world of Bang & Olufsen. A particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics you might love to own. Locate us at Accra, Ghana, Atlantic Tower, Liberation Road 1, where each passing day, month, and year, a variety of drool-worthy new electronic gadgets ranging from exquisite home theaters, speakers, headphones, television sets, and soundbar products are released. Bang & Olufsen, like no one else.
Like no one else. I want to say a big shout-out to Kofi perfume, Freddie _Gray. If you are seeing that perfume,
thank you.
Go check out Freddie _Gray.
Lenny, who are you shouting
out? I want to give shouts to my mom. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Mommy.
I love you. Mama. And thanks for watching all the time.
Nita, you can't threaten us.
Hi.
Nita, you can't threaten. Hello, Nita.
Charlie, guys, you already know time, so.
We out.